Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another review of a new horror comedy called Cooties. Now, Cooties, I had heard about the film, and I had seen the trailer, and although if you haven't seen the trailer, I would say, check this film out without even seeing the trailer, because it'd be even more fun. Because I actually really liked it. It's an independent film, which, to be honest, is, if you want to see good horror films, it's in the independent circuit. I know there's a few more that people have told me about. Deathgasm, Turbo Kid, some others, which I haven't seen yet. Tremors 5 I know is coming out, which I don't know. But we'll see. But I was able to check this out. It was directed by Jonathan Milott and Cary Murnion. I don't know what they've done before. It stars Elijah Wood, which I will say Elijah Wood I thought has been doing pretty good in this type of genre because it's more of a thriller. But Grand Piano I reviewed, and I really enjoyed that film. Haven't seen Open Windows, but I did, of course, The Faculty I reviewed, and I liked that flick. What was it? Maniac, the remake. I was surprised by that. And I really enjoyed this film. I mean, his role in this film. And both. I enjoyed both. Also has Alison Pill, which I'm not sure what she's been in. Leigh Whannell has a supporting role. Rainn Wilson is one of the stars. And Rainn Wilson, I thought he was pretty funny. I really liked his character as well as Elijah Wood. And Rainn Wilson, he's probably most famous for his role in The Office. And there's been in other stuff. I forgot he was in The House of a Thousand Corpses, that's right. He was in a film called Super. Film that I remember watching a long time ago. I think I reviewed called Hesher. He's been, Juno, which honestly I haven't seen. But I liked him in this. I thought he did a pretty good job at this character as he's sort of pretty much the PE teacher. And the whole gist of this film, you have chicken nuggets, which are tainted, which even one of them has this black stripe on it. Splotches. And little kid eats it, she gets infected by this virus, and she starts clawing and biting other kids. She bites one kid on the cheek, and then when there's playground, it spreads. One scratches another, one scratches another, one scratches another, and they start killing the adults. And it's pretty much a bunch of teachers having to survive in the school while a bunch of killer kids try to kill them. Because of these chicken nuggets that are tainted, and which really enough I remember hearing, I swear I remember hearing something about nothing like this, but like chicken or some other type of food that you gotta watch it. I swear I remember hearing that on the news. Maybe it just really fucked with me. But I'm like, okay, that's an interesting idea. And even the opening was kind of like, ew, because you see it probably fake, but a guy kills a chicken and then gets cleaned up, and seeing it get made the chicken nuggets. But yeah, I'm guessing that was some of that was effects, but it's like, ew, watching the opening, it's like, ew. But I thought this film had a fun sense of humor to it. Elijah Wood I liked. He was, at the beginning, he says he's a horror writer, and he's living with his mom, try to write. He actually has figures of like Godzilla and Chucky and stuff on his mantle. And he's going to be a sub-teacher. And when he gets in there, he has to give up his cell phone. And this weird like principal, vice principal, and even Elijah Wood's like, I'm not sure you know how air quotes work. Meeting other teachers is this girl that he knew way back in the day. Rainn Wilson is the PE teacher. And he can't say dual rear wheel. Pretty much when your truck has 2 extra wheels on the back. He can't say it right though. Dual rear wheel. Yeah. He does a lot better. It actually made me laugh and funny. And don't know if I should give everything away, because I thought it was a pretty entertaining film where it's them trying to survive these kids. It's definitely R-rated. It's definitely I would say go check it out without, me spoiling everything, but just the premise and Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson, and then again, it's an R-rated film. Again, has a sense of humor to it. Nice moment where they suit up, and Rainn Wilson has like these things that shoot baseballs and shooting some of these kids in the face. I don't know, just the idea behind it I thought was pretty interesting, and the way things are nowadays, kind of, I mean, with school shootings and things of that nature, they made a horror film that took place in a school where the kids are killers, and you have to beat the kids or shoot baseballs in their face. I mean, the way the climate is nowadays, it's kind of a risky venture. The only thing they don't have is, of course, guns, because again, maybe that'd be too close to home. That's the gun shootings at schools. It's like, well, we don't want to get people to. We want to enjoy it as a movie, so that I can understand with all the recent gun shootings in schools. It's like, okay, we don't want to have people hit too close to home. We want to just have fun, just don't want to have an entertainment film. So part of me is like, well, it'd be nice just get guns and shoot the kids in a movie, folks, in a movie. But that one I can totally 100% understand why you can't do that, especially nowadays. In the 80s, and in fact, I know there are films that do that, but I can understand that in the way it is today. But so the way they get around that, I thought was pretty interesting, and I thought it was filmed well. Nice camera work at certain points. It collected group of people, especially Rainn Wilson's character. Yeah, she has some kids that are okay. One, I guess, because he didn't really eat the chicken nuggets at that point. Another, but you find out, is this virus, it doesn't affect anyone who has entered puberty. If you haven't had puberty yet, you can be affected. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Kind of original idea there. But I gotta get more into spoilers to tell why I enjoyed the film. But I think it's a fun, entertaining, made me chuckle. Definitely wears his R rating well. I thought the acting was pretty good, especially by Elijah Wood and Rainn Wilson. I thought it was a fun, entertaining. I've said that like 5 times now, but it did. I mean, this would be in my top 10 of the year because I had a ball with this movie. And I kind of figured I would just from the idea alone. Again, Elijah Wood I haven't seen Open Windows, but a lot of his films lately I've really enjoyed that he's been involved in. At least of this type of either thriller or horror genre. Again, this is horror, but it's horror comedy. But get more into spoilers. But yeah, I do like the fact that Rainn Wilson can say, "No, real." Like they asked about what the Elijah Wood's book is. He's like, "Oh, it's about a boat that's possessed." And even Rainn Wilson mentions, "Oh, so like Christine." "Oh no, but it's a boat." "Oh, so it's like Speed 2, starring Sandra Bullock and Jason Patrick." And quick mention of the Lost Boys, so that was a funny line. And also, I mean, Elijah Wood is teaching. There's this boy who's a complete dick, treating this girl who has stuff on her face like shit. He's called the Patriot because I was born in 9/11. When I grow up, I'm going to be in the Marine. And but when he becomes this dude, he's a dick, but he gets a good comeuppance later on, which I'll talk about. I thought that was a very fun comeuppance, but he's definitely a kid that you hate. And then one kid pulls the girl's ponytail and it falls off and there's bloody, and then it bites the kid's face. And again, even in this day and age, kind of ballsy where you have a playground and it's spreading and scratching, and they start eating the adults, and the vice principal, he gets torn apart. And Rainn Wilson says, like, "What the fuck?" And he's running, he's even clothesline as a kid. A cop comes, he gets his fingers bitten off and he goes off. And then there's one in the backseat gets killed. Uh, they did attack. They have to figure out what to do, and Rainn Wilson like picks up a violin and is like, "You don't use that weapon, a violin? No, this is a symphony of death." What? Oh, sneak around like a fucking hobbit. I thought that was a funny way of referencing Lord of the Rings, because of course of Elijah Wood. But I thought that was that did make me chuckle. And Elijah Wood gets scratched, but he gets isolated, and again, that's part of the way you find out that it doesn't affect adults. It'll make you sick, but it doesn't affect adults in a way. Leigh Whannell plays a weird part. Later on, you find out that he got fucked with in the head, like stabbed in the head or something. That's why he's pretty funky. And once in a while, his humor wasn't the best, because like he tells someone to be quiet, and they are quiet, even though I am quiet. Maybe one time, but he does it like 2 or 3 times. But other than that, I didn't mind him. He's the guy who sort of figures out real quick what the problem is and what to do about the situation, like maybe cure-wise. There's this one shot where it shows the playground, and you have like one kid on a bicycle, and there's like fingers on the back of the bike, like where you would put cards, baseball cards, but they put a finger. There's like a head going around attached, like it's a tetherball, like that game where you hit it and it goes around. I mean, just the fact that, and when I say kids, these are like 4th grader kids. I'm not talking about like high school kids. These are like 4th grader kids. These are like, you know, sort of elementary kids. So I thought that was kind of a ballsy idea as well. There's a mom that comes in, and she's wearing her headphones, and of course she's not paying attention, and they're trying to warn her, like, hey, stop, don't let that kid in your van, don't let you, that's not, your kid's not right. And sometimes it's like, ooh, where there's a little, somewhat baby in the back, and you just hear the kid go in the back, and it's on the rear view mirror of the mom. She has her headphones on, not paying attention. You just hear it. But I just didn't really kill the kid, because that's the mom, and then you see the baby with like blood on its mouth. And I'm like, but still, like, it biting and infecting the baby, I'm like, that's a ballsy move too. But they handle it in a tastefully way. It's not like Toxic Avenger or something that they would, or there's another movie where they took like it's supposed to be a baby, but they just put like a doll and they blow the baby up. It's like bloodletting or something like that. Like they handle it tastefully, so it's that horror part. Like, oh shit, but then again, the kid's not dead, it's just been turned. But I thought, okay, that's a ballsy scene as well. Rainn Wilson kills one kid with a fire extinguisher, and I like the fact that he's a bit affected by it. But I thought Rainn Wilson, like, he's sort of the guy who's like, oh, well, you two are chummy. He's supposed to be the other girl's boyfriend. It's like, well, you guys are chummy, so he's getting a bit jealous of that. But he's not as much of an asshole as I've seen in other movies as well. He wasn't as much of an asshole that I stopped liking him. The power gets turned off, and they're helped by the janitor, who's like this Asian guy, and no, he does not die. So it's not like, oh, the minorities die. In fact, he actually has a bit of a martial arts scene where he gets like a piece of a broom and he's like fucking up the kids, which I thought was a fun little scene. They got this one kid that's with them is diabetic, so Elijah Wood is going to go in to get the kid some candy, sugar for the kid, and also get some teas. I like the other girl that's with them actually does this sort of cute thing of like a cutie shot, so sort of like a playful little thing, but I thought it was sort of a sweet thing for the kid to do for Elijah's. Little moments like that I appreciate. If you wonder why I'm rushing through things, is that I don't want to get through every single little thing. But there's a moment I like where they're going through him and the maybe going to be his girlfriend, maybe not. they're going through the air ducts. A nice scene where you have this one of the kids turned is this creepy version of Pop Goes the Weasel while the lights are going on, and it has some nice lighting. And also it has some nice music, sort of 80s type of synth music, especially at the end credits, so I like that little touch as well. But like it goes around, then it stops, and it goes to the crate, and they have to hold their breath, and then she gets back on a little tricycle again. And one thing leads to another, I'll jump ahead, and they suit up, and again, Rainn Wilson's shooting these baseballs against the kids' faces, and the janitor's kicking ass, and they get and charge and beating up on these kids as they get into the truck, and Rainn Wilson stays behind as a distraction. They're driving. The Patriot kid flies off. And when he flies off and reveals it's like no jaw. I thought it was a really cool effect. I don't know if it was practical or CG. Even as CG, I thought it was pretty well done. It's like, ooh, shit. But Elijah Wood actually backs up, hooks the kid onto his back bumper, and then slams her right into a tree, which I thought was pretty satisfying. They're out of gas. They're in the next town. They see the news and figure out, from the news what's going on with these. It's because of these nuggets. And Leigh Whannell finds one. And they realize they're in this big old net playground. Now, this is the one thing I have fault with the film. I thought they could have milked this scene a lot more. A lot more. Because it's dark, the lights come up, and again, it's like a playground, but it's one of those bouncy playground things with nets on it. I don't know how to describe it. And there's like a bunch of infected kids there. And like 2 seconds, Rainn Wilson comes in, come on, soaks the whole thing with gasoline. They don't know it yet. Even Elijah was like, water's not going to do anything with them. It's not water. I thought that this was my only disappointment in the film. That seemed to have been milked a lot more. With maybe going through these tunnels of this playground and battling the kids, and we can't go that way, let's go this way and go. I thought you could have had some cat and mouse and some more fighting, and I thought the ending is like, okay, now let's end it real quick. That's my only disappointment. It could have been a lot more cat and mouse through this, a cool looking environment where you have a bunch of these kids. Could have some fighting back and forth, but pretty much he douses it. Great, he says some fun lines, Rainn Wilson. Giving you kids an F for fuck you, and nap time motherfuckers, and burns them all, and they drive on off. But I thought you could have done a bit more with the finale. It could have been a bit more of a, again, cat and mouse going through these tubes or tunnels of this bouncy playground. So I thought that ended a bit too short for my liking. Again, it's like, okay, we're here, and okay, let's get right to the ending. It's like you could have fit about. It's a short movie. It's only like an hour and 26 minutes. Minutes, if I learn how to talk. Hour and 26 minutes, or minutes, as I said it. You could put 5 minutes of cat and mouse and fighting and action and stuff in there. That's my only gripe of it. I would have put that. But other than that, I thought it had a good sense of humor. Special effects for the most part, I thought well done. It definitely wears its R rating. You have, again, scenes that made me chuckle and laugh. Scenes that I'm like, ooh, a little bit the brutality horror. I like the idea behind it. Kind of a ballsy original idea nowadays, which was nice and refreshing to see. Elijah Wood, Rainn Wilson, and the rest of the cast did perfectly fine. And overall, I mean, other than the finale could have been extended a bit, I really had a ball with the film. That was just a fun flick. I would love to pick this up when it comes out. I think it comes out, like, you can see it on VOD and such. But to physically, or if you learn how to talk, physically own it, I think it's like December 1st. I would love to pick this up. I put it on my Amazon wish list. Or hopefully family member will buy it for me because I'm a cheapskate. But no, seriously, love to pick this up. Where would I put in my top 10? I don't know. I haven't made a top 10 list. But I really enjoyed it. I've said that like 10 times now, so you get the point. But yeah, Cooties, definitely my kind of movie. Definitely my kind of film. So either way, thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you later. Bye-bye.